Yeah, so my camera arm can't really angle itself well enough to get the full unboxing of the device in frame. So I'm going to do this part off camera, and once I have it out of the box, we can delve deeper into the unboxing experience. 1 second.
Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
And there's the box. All right, let me get this camera on the arm. And let's see what's in the box. All right, I got a decent little angle there. Taking off the foam frame. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to come with that. But nice box. Much more professional looking than, like I said, what the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally came in. So just like that, props to Lenovo for, you know, at least on the exterior, a superior unboxing experience. Now the box seems, oh, we have some tape here. Back to the Batman knife. At the ready. Lenovo. Okay. You guys ready? And within the box, yet another box. Oh no, this is very similar to the Steam Deck. This is a cardboard cover with what the device should look like printed on the outside, but in the cover is the case. Very similar to Steam Deck and much better than the ROG Ally, which does come with the case at all. Before I even get into this, let's take a look at the box here. If there's anything unique, get the best from your device with Lenovo services. So we have some paperwork. I assume this would be the power brick. If I remember correctly, it should be a 60-watt power brick, very similar again to our ROG Ally. The Steam Deck comes with a 45 if memory serves. We have another little compartment at the bottom here. More paperwork. Nothing of any real significance. I'm sure it's just warranty and things along those lines. Okay, put all of that back. So, aside from the amazing box that it comes in, the unboxing experience is pretty bare bones, but I do prefer this box to, again, what the Steam Deck and the Ally came with. This makes you feel that you've gotten something quality, something important. And it's a good size and a good weight for such an empty box. Now let's get to the main event. You know what? It's a little lighter than I thought it might be, at least just based on what I'm feeling here. Take off that. Let's take a quick look at this case. Now the case has the word Legion on it. Oh, and it's kind of embossed there. Feels really good. Dual zips. You can actually lock those up. Actually, you know what? These don't come with the little holes to lock it up. I spoke too soon. Nice case though. You see, like, it can take a hit. We have a little flap here. Apparently you can charge the device while it's in the case. That's one up on the Steam Deck's case, because the Steam Deck, you weren't able to do that through the case. But let's see exactly what we have inside. Zipper here. The zip goes around the opposite side of the handle. Let's open it up. Alright, so we have Legion Space. We have a pull tab, and that lifts the device out of the case. Brand new, wrapped in plastic. Let's take it out. And there it is. Lenovo Legion Go. Quick push of the buttons just because it can't be helped. It's also inside the case. As I said, as I'm for the main device, we have this guy. Now, from all the vids I've watched and from all of the promotional material, this is the disc that allows this side of the controller, when detached from the main device, to be used as a mouse for first-person shooters. I guess what you would call a first-person mode. None of the other PC handhelds have that capabilities. This is something unique to the Legion Go. I guess we'll have to see how well it actually works. But from what I've seen, what I've read, from what I've heard, it works actually surprisingly well. Now, let's go over the device itself pretty quick. Move this out of the way. Now here it is, the Legion Go. We have your X, Y, B, A buttons. We have two analog sticks, right and left. We have a button up here, button up here. This has the Legion logo on it, so I assume this is something like a home button. I guess we'll see once we turn it on. The D-pad feels kind of, I don't know, it's kind of deep in there. There's not much play. It's very light to the touch. I'm not sure how this would work or how well it will work with fighting games. I feel like it's too deep into the controller. I haven't even, like I said, played anything with it. I think I'm used to the D-pad on the Steam Deck, because I have been playing that a lot, and this one just doesn't have the same indentations as the Steam Deck one. There's no arrows on it. It's just pretty flat, and the push down is very light. There's not much go when you push it down. It's almost like a touchpad. But I guess we'll see how it works. Now we have two more buttons here, and we have a mouse pad or a touchpad on this side. Now we know that the Steam Deck has a mouse pad on both sides, and the ROG Ally has no mouse pad at all. Let's go on the back of, or the bottom of the device. We have your power here. This side of the controller has an on-off switch. As like this is the mouse side. I guess you can turn that mouse functionality on and off. I think this is the laser for the mouse. When it's on the table, the laser is what lets the mouse know what direction you're actually moving this joystick in. On the back of the device, we have vents. If I'm right, this is a kickstand, another plus against both the Ally and the deck, because none of them come with kickstands. My Ally does have a kickstand, but that's a third-party one I attached myself. As far as buttons go, we have buttons, but it's oddly in two different directions. Again, this is a mouse, technically, so I guess these are your mouse 1 and mouse 2, while this one has regular rear buttons like you would find on any other controller for your index and your middle finger. I assume these are the switch to get the controls off, one on each side. The triggers, ooh, these things are bouncy, and they're actually quite large. Then we have our bumpers, left bumper, right bumper, volume up, volume down. It's another USB-C charging port. You can charge your device from the top or the bottom. The bottom is from when, like I said, it's in its case. You can have it in the case and still be charging the device. 2 USB ports are actually pretty good when you think about it, because if both of them can read, maybe you have, for example, the in-zone earbuds by Sony, the adapter for those needs its own USB-C port. So you could actually have those in while still charging your device on the other side. I mean, depending on the side you choose. Now we have what looks to be a SD card slot here. Oh, more vents. I would assume that this thing has a lot of heat to dissipate. Here we have a headphone jack and what I assume is a power button. Now, based on what I'm seeing here, this doesn't look like it's a Windows Hello button like the Ally here, where you have this little button here, and that pretty much gets you into your device and only you, as this reads your fingerprint, essentially your Windows Hello. I don't think that the Legion Go has something like that. Perhaps it's just a password and that's it. Now these seem to be even more vents, so apparently 6 vents up top and 1 large vent at the bottom or at the back of the device. Now they have the word Lenovo and Legion, so there's no way you're going to get this thing mixed up with anything else. Let's see about the controls and how exactly they actually come off of this thing. So if I press, it just kind of pops off there. It wasn't nearly as hard as I thought. There's very little resistance to it. Press, well, at least on that side. Press, oh, press and down. Ooh, okay. So looking at the controllers themselves, you see where they attach to the device right there. You see where they slide into the device right here. Very much like the Switch, but they're so light. They are very light. I didn't expect them to be as light as they are at all. I'd say they almost feel cheap how light they are, like a children's toy. I mean, of course, we know this is a very adult device, but just the material used, I guess, to offset the weight of the monitor, just makes these things almost ear light. Like, wow, what am I holding right now? All right, this is the mouse one. Let's put this one down here. Let's take a quick look here. We have a scroll wheel here. Just when you're holding the device, your index can be on the scroll wheel to easily scroll through. That's your mouse wheel. Your mouse 1 and 2. Seems like it will be controlled with 1 finger each. You have your trigger is here. So you'll be using the mouse like so. That will be your trigger up top, and your middle finger, it seems, is meant to control mouse 1 and 2. Definitely something you'll have to get used to, as most people are used to having the mouse like this, 1 2 1 2, and you're going scroll wheel in the middle. This one, they planned out how you would do it without having to do that. I'm not even sure you're meant to use the bumper in this mode. But I get it. Guess we'll have to see exactly how it works. You're like that. Strange. Now the other one, very straightforward. You have your thumb here, buttons, your diagonal pad, and you have your middle finger and your ring finger on the two back buttons. How it is known, how it's been for so long when it comes to, let's say, your elite controllers and things along those lines. Very similar button placement to the Steam Deck's back buttons and the ROG Ally with its singular back button. Now, as suspected, most of the weight is in the monitor. That's where the controllers connect. You have your connectors there, where it slides through. So you need to be careful when taking it out, because like I said, this is very light. I feel like you might be able to break these connector pieces or the plastic that hooks in. I don't trust that too much. And on the other side, the same thing. The tablet does seem to have a camera built in right here. I've been looking at that. A front-facing camera right there, if that is what that is. It does look to be that. It's at the side, so it's kind of odd, but I guess depending on how it's viewing you, you will get the same wide angle, unless there's an option to play it vertically, which I guess some games would play like that. But that's it. Really not much to look at, which is odd, because, you know, with the Steam Deck, oh, it kind of pops right in there, and there's a slight click, and you're good. Let's try the other one. Is this one as easy? Yeah. Less slide than a Nintendo Switch. Now we have this amazingly large screen here. Let's do a quick comparison to the other devices, just so you guys can get an idea for just how large the screen of the Legion Go is compared to its two main competitors. Do I have any space on this desk? These things are so big when they're laid out side by side. It's kind of nuts. And there you have it. Here we have the Steam Deck. And even at the angle that my camera is in, you can clearly see the size difference of these three screens. You can see that the Steam Deck has a 7-inch screen, as does the ROG Ally, whereas the Legion Go has an 8.8-inch screen. You wouldn't think that a screen difference or a size difference of almost 2 inches would be that much, but clearly it is. You're taking a lot more information, visual information, with your Legion Go as opposed to these two guys. Now, if memory serves, the Steam Deck is 60 Hz, whereas the ROG Ally is 120 Hz. The Legion Go can go up to 144 Hz depending on the game, as long as the game supports it, and of course you're at the right power to do that. So just based on the specs, just based on the size that we see, the Legion Go does seem to be the better of the three. But of course, that has yet to be seen. Physicality and specs don't necessarily translate into better gaming experience. Now, comparing the weight of these devices is something I was curious about. Here we have my Steam Deck. I'm used to the way this feels. I'm used to the way this handles. I'm used to its weight. It's a good weight. It is a little on the heavy side, but like I said, with enough playtime, you learn to adjust yourself accordingly for longer play sessions. Now the Ally it's surprisingly lighter than the Steam Deck. At least it feels that way in hand. Now, the only issue with this is where your hands rest, where your fingers go. The ergonomics of the device isn't as well thought out as the Steam Deck. Whereas the Steam Deck has somewhat of these curved haunches at the back for your palm to grip, for your fingers to wrap around more comfortably. The Ally doesn't really have that. It has somewhat of a bump, but for my large hands, it's not really doing much. But this is a lighter device, so when it comes to longer play times, it's easier to do it with this, providing of course the battery lasts that long. But it's easier to hold this for longer periods of time, but it's more comfortable to hold the Steam Deck during that same time, simply because of the ergonomics of the device. They took more time with the Steam Deck to get the handholds just right for most. Now, compared those to the Legion Go, this is a hefty boy, but surprisingly, and it's odd, it doesn't feel as heavy as the Steam Deck. Maybe it's because the controllers are detachable, perhaps they're somewhat hollow on the inside, the mechanisms aren't that heavy, and whatever tech they use for the monitor, it's just, I don't want to say cheaper material, but just simply lighter material. It doesn't feel as heavy as the Steam Deck, though it's clearly the larger device. I find that odd. I find that very odd. So now that we've seen these devices side by side, let me get this guy set up, and we'll see exactly what we're dealing with here. With that said, my name is NG, the Neon X, and experiencing the Lenovo Legion Go for the first time, this is what I'm into.